Okay, today's video is about triangle proportionality theorem. Our EQ is what is triangle proportionality theorem and how can I use it to find missing side lengths of similar triangles. So as we talked about in class, the triangle proportionality theorem says that if a line is parallel to one side of a triangle, then it splits the other two sides proportionally. So we're going to write the ratio of the proportional sides for this picture. So AD and BD would be proportional to AE and CE. We also get two similar triangles, so you could also say that AD and AB would be proportional to AE and AC. We're going to use that information to solve a couple examples. So for the first one, it says find the length of CY. So using the triangle proportionality theorem, I know that BX and XA are proportional to CY and YA. So I'm going to use the information from my triangle and fill that in. So I get 5 over 8 is equal to x over 10. To solve this, we're going to use cross multiplication. So 8 times x is 8x. 5 times 10 is 50. We're going to divide by 8 on both sides, and I get x equals 50 over 8. So without doing long division, I'm just going to simplify that fraction into 25 over 4. And I'm going to say my answer is 25 over 4. So the length of CY is 25 over 4. So now I'm going to move on to number 2, where we have two missing pieces. We're looking for RS, this total length here, and then EB, which is this bottom portion right here of that smaller triangle. So first, I'm going to find the length of ES and then add it to RE to get the total of RS, because I know that RS is made up of RE plus ES. So I know that RE is 15, so I need to find out what ES is so I can get the total. So I'm going to make that proportion using my length RB and BT. So I'm going to have 10 over 5 is equal to 15 over x, and I'm going to cross multiply. I get 10x equals 15 times 5, which is 75. I'm going to divide by 10 on both sides, and I get x equals 7.5. So ES here is 7.5. So 15 plus 7.5 is going to be 22.5. So the length of RS is 22.5. And I'm going to switch colors now that I'm doing a different problem. I'm going to use similar triangles to find this length EB here. So I have this triangle REB, and then you have the larger triangle RST. So I'm going to use that to help me figure out what the length of EB is. So first I'm going to make my proportion, my ratio 10 to 15. So I'm using RB and RT. And then I'm going to say EB, which is what I don't know, to ST, which is 30. So I'm going to cross multiply, and I get 15x is equal to 300. And I'm going to divide, and I get x equals 20. So the length of EB is 20. Moving on to example number 3, it's asking us, what about this? Is it the same? Is it different? So you could imagine these two lines continuing on and making a triangle. And so since we have parallel lines, they will be cut proportionally. So we are going to make a proportion with these numbers. So 4y minus 2 over 2y is equal to 24 over 14. So we're going to do the same thing that we've been doing, is cross multiply and solve. So I get 14 times 4y minus 2 is equal to 2y times 24. So 14 times 4y minus 2, 14 times 4 is going to be 56y minus 28 equals 48y. So I'm going to change colors as I change my step here. I'm going to subtract 56y from this side and that side, and I get minus 28 is equal to 48 minus 56. So that's going to leave us with a minus 8y. So I'm going to divide by 8 on both sides, And so I get y equals 28 over 8. So just like I did before, without doing long division, I'm just going to simplify both by 2, dividing both by 2. So I get 14 over 4. And that's how I'm going to leave my answer. So y equals 14 over 4. And I'm going to go ahead and work this very last one. So we're going to use a similar idea, but this time we need the total here. So 6 plus 9 is 15. So I can make my proportion 6, which is the part, to the total, which is 15. And then this part that I'm missing would correspond to the 6, and then they gave me the total 30. So I get 15x equals 6 times 300 is going to be 180. And then I'm going to divide by 15, and I might have to do some long division here. 180, 15 goes in once. I'm left with 3, so 30, so 12. So our missing piece here is 12.